We come before the Lord and we recognize today on this feast of St. Cecilia this call to give ourselves so totally and completely to the Lord. In case you have a chance, I would invite you to listen to on Augustine Institute, what's it called? Formed. They have the Ode to St. Cecilia, which is a dramatic rendering of Cecilia's life. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's just this call where she gave herself so completely to the Lord. And she had promised him her virginity. Well, then her parents have her get married. And she says to her husband, Valerian, she says, there's an angel who's guarding me, and if you try to approach me, he's going to kill you. Well, my love, let me see this angel. Well, you have to go get baptized first. So she sends him off to Pope Urban. Now, this is in a time, of course, before there was a papal palace and the Vatican and St. Peter and St. Paul Basilica. He was off in some tombs, the tombs of Callistus, and she goes and finds him. He goes and finds him, gets baptized, comes back, and there he sees this angel. Is like, oh, okay, glad I listened to you. But then his brother comes in as well, and he gets baptized, and so the two of them then start proclaiming the good news, and they both get killed, which is the story of the early Christians. It's like yesterday at the Treasures of the Church, as they had this one relic of a bishop, an unknown bishop, that they could tell it was a bishop and martyr, but didn't have the name that was there. Somehow it had gotten rubbed off over the years, and so it was there to be venerated. And I was thinking as I was praying with that, yeah, pretty much to be bishop or to be pope in the first centuries of the church, that was also to be a martyr. It's pretty much, that's the way it was. That, okay, how long are you going to be pope here? Not very long, because you're going to be martyred pretty quickly. That was the state of the church. And so then, anyways, going on back to the story of Cecilia, there she goes and she begins to continue to proclaim Jesus Christ. And the story goes that she converted 400 pagans to Christianity, and they were off seeking Pope Urbanus and Urban to be able to be baptized. But that brought attention to her. She was eventually brought before the magistrate, tried and convicted, and they put her into the baths to suffocate her, to raise up all this steam and all this stuff, and she survived, didn't even break a sweat. And then they went and sent someone to behead her, and they had to cut 3 times, and they still couldn't sever her head. So it's always interesting to see how God is moving in the saints. And she lives for 3 days, but in that time she's continuing to minister to the people around her. But she gave her all to the Lord. She gave from the depths of her heart, not just from what she had extra. And we hear this in the gospel today. We hear about this poor widow putting in her 2 small coins, and Jesus, we heard this in the Gospel of Matthew Mark just a few weeks ago. I tell you, this poor widow put in more than all the rest. For all those others have made offerings from their surplus wealth, but she from her poverty has given her whole livelihood. And the Lord invites us to give not from our surplus, not to give to Him not just the extra we have. Maybe that's extra time or extra money or extra talent, but to give from our poverty. He wants everything. He doesn't ask for much, He just asks for everything, as the saying goes. He wants everything because He wants us to be able to trust in Him. And too often I know in my own life, I put my trust in my own abilities and what I have saved up and what I have in store and my own energy. And the Lord is saying, no, surrender it to me. Give and I will give. I will not be outdone in generosity. Through the intercession of St. Cecilia, may we have the courage to be totally generous to the Lord with our lives, holding nothing back, and allowing Him to lead us and to transform us.